Hello everyone, today we will be ranking 12 of the most powerful attacks in terms of raw devastative power in Jujutsu Kaisen. Let's start with the Angel's Jacob's Ladder. Hana's curse technique is one of the most impressive in Jujutsu Kaisen and yet the least utilized. If used right, Hana could take on some of the strongest characters in Jujutsu Kaisen and emerge victorious. Jacob's Ladder is a curse technique that nullifies other curse techniques or items caught in its rays of light. Once Hana blows her winged horn, the light descends from the heavens and has been known to cover large distances. Jacob's Ladder was so destructive that it destroyed the back of the prison realm cube. The only caveat is that Jacob's Ladder only affects items with cursed energy. Next we have Kenjaku's Maximum Uzumaki. The architect of the Culling games has many attacks under his belt, from cursed spirit manipulation to Kaori Itadori's gravity technique. His ability to hop from body to body with his swapping technique allows him to possess the curse technique of whatever body he controls. But of all the bodies he has taken over, Suguru Geto's curse spirit manipulation gives him the ability to take down special grade curse spirits and users. The Maximum Uzumaki combines the cursed energy of over 4,000 cursed spirits into one powerful blast. While Maximum Uzumaki was overpowered, one could argue that its destructive potential is equivalent to the grade of curses the user has. An Uzumaki filled with only special grade cursed energy would be a problem to even the most durable opponents. Now we have Yuta's Pure Love Blast. Yuta Okutsu is one of the special grade students of Jujutsu Tech, capable of going toe-to-toe with Ryomen Sukuna himself. But before that, Yuta faced off against former Jujutsu Tech student Suguru Geto. In a showdown of pure energy, Suguru uses his Maximum Uzumaki. Yuta counters with the Pure Love Blast, powered by a Binding Vow and Rika. This attack cuts through the cursed energy of 4,000 cursed spirits and leaves Suguru Geto on the brink of death. While it seems to be a one-time technique, there's no denying that the attack would be a problem for even the likes of Mahoraga. Let's move to Kashimo's Genjuko Hasaku. Considered the strongest of his generation, Kashimo willingly participated in the Culling games to find a worthy opponent. Unlike most sorcerers in Jujutsu Kaisen, Kashimo can only use his curse technique once, killing him afterward. Still, without a curse technique, Kashimo claims the title of the strongest, at least for his time. Kashimo knew cursed energy alone wouldn't be enough against the King of Curses. The Genjuko Hasaku transformed Kashimo's body, pushing it beyond all human capabilities. His lightning-based attacks were amplified, and his speed was heightened to the point where Sukuna was unable to see him coming. The technique allows him to use all lightning-based phenomena, giving Kashimo access to powerful sound waves, electricity strikes, and an electromagnetic wave that destroys everything in its path. Next is Ryu Ishigori's Granite Blast. Several cursed users brought from the past into the Culling games were extremely gifted, but very few of them had the sheer destructive power of Ryu Ishigori. In the Sendai colony, Ryu took on Yuta and another reawakened sorcerer and managed to hold his ground well enough. Ryu was acknowledged to have the greatest cursed energy release in history, making him one of the sorcerers with the highest levels of cursed energy. Ryu's Granite Blast can level city blocks in a single shot, showcasing the intense power behind his technique. Now we have Jogo's Maximum Meteor. In Jujutsu Kaisen, a sorcerer's maximum technique is the most powerful attack outside their domain expansion. For Suguru Geto, it's the Maximum Uzumaki, and for Satoru Gojo, it's his Hollow Purple. These techniques require a lot of cursed energy, but the result is an incredible level of destruction. Jogo's Maximum Meteor is one example. Jogo creates a giant ball of fire and debris in the sky before dropping it on his target. While the meteor is about 2 city blocks in size, the height from which it is dropped and the explosive potential of the attack can effectively wipe out a small city. Next is Sukuna's Dismantle. As expected from the King of Curses, nearly all Sukuna's abilities are inherently destructive. Cleave and Dismantle are his default attacks, which he uses to chop up his enemies, slicing them to bits. While Cleave needs Sukuna to physically touch his target, Dismantle is a ranged, invisible attack that can be fired at any point. Even against special grade cursed spirit Jogo, Sukuna could chop him up with ease. Dismantle also targets non-living things, allowing Sukuna to attack cars, buildings, and whatever he chooses. Using Mahoraga, Sukuna can evolve the attack into the World Cutting Slash, an attack that cuts at the fabric of reality itself. We are staying with Sukuna and his world-cutting slash, an upgrade from the basic dismantle attack. The world-cutting slash has yet to meet an opponent capable of withstanding it. Characters like Hanami and Dagon, who are revered for their high physical durability, would instantly be mowed down by the intensity of the attack. Even Gojo's Infinity couldn't withstand it. While the attack is incredibly potent, it's quite difficult for Sukuna to use now due to the binding vows he imposed on himself. For an attack that cuts at reality itself, it doesn't get more destructive than that. Next is Gojo's Hollow Purple. Many techniques in Jujutsu Kaisen are based on real-world principles, and Satoru Gojo's Hollow Purple is one of those. By using his two base attacks of Infinity, Red, which pushes or repulses everything in its path, and Blue, which attracts everything it gets close enough to, Hollow Purple is created. The combination of both attacks creates a purple sphere of cursed energy, imbued with an imaginary mass that destroys everything in its path. From forests to cities and people, Hollow Purple completely shreds everything it makes contact with. It is so potent that the attack can even hurt its user as well. Next is Sukuna's Divine Flames. One of the most anticipated attacks on the show is from Ryomen Sukuna. While Sukuna's Cleave and Dismantle are already powerful techniques that can damage some of the best in the show, Sukuna's Divine Flames are a different beast. While the Divine Flames or Furnace had a limited range, Sukuna used a binding vow to ensure that everything and everyone within his domain would be affected by it. With Sukuna's domain having a 200-meter radius and the flames being pressurized, it would essentially be a bomb powered by cursed energy. Now we have Yorozu's Perfect Sphere. Another technique backed by science is the reawakened sorcerer Yorozu's Curse technique, which is the same as Mai Zenin's creation technique. However, unlike Mai, Yorozu can create much more, including her Perfect Sphere. The sphere has an infinite amount of points, which are all at the same distance from the center of the circle. In reality, such a feat is impossible, but Yorozu manages to pull it off with her technique. What makes this incredibly dangerous is the amount of pressure exerted by this object. A single touch on any point on the sphere would result in infinite pressure crushing down her target. Other than Maharaga, who adapted to this, there is no known counter to the attack except running away from it. Finally, we have Yuki's Star Rage. The only female special grade sorcerer, Yuki's Curse technique is one of the scariest in the series. Star Rage allows Yuki to add virtual mass to her body or Garuda, a Shinigami she possesses. This virtual mass has no effect on Garuda or Yuki, allowing them to move freely. However, the mass has every bit of effect on her targets. In a battle against Kenjaku, Yuki pushes Star Rage to the maximum, imbuing her body with incredibly large amounts of virtual mass, making her a new point of gravitational energy. Eventually, the mass collapses in on itself and creates a singularity, a black hole capable of devouring the Earth itself. While special grades are said to be able to take on countries by themselves and win, Yuki's Star Rage technique is the only one in the series that has been said to be able to destroy the planet. Before I wrap this up, maybe you'll like this video about a scenario where Itadori was born with a heavenly restriction, and catch you in the next video.